So, I want to talk today about the word surplus. What exactly is surplus? And really, that is such a non static word, meaning it's very dynamic, it's very fluid, it's very hard to pin down. Here's what I know: parents always have a surplus for their kids, or they find a way. People who are really, really good friends. So I got some boys who I'm just tight with. Man, if I got it, they got it, right? If I have it, we can have it. If they need it, they can just take it. I have friends like that. I have really close friends. My frat brothers from my chapter in particular, especially my LBs, will always have whatever they need if I got it. But when it comes to people who I'm just kind of cool with, that surplus gets real short, starts looking real limited, right? Because then you have to ask the question of how much is enough. Do I have enough to where I won't miss it? Do I have enough to where I'm okay with you just getting a little bit? Uh, do I have enough to where if I give you some of this, will I need to go back and refill immediately, or will I be okay for a couple days? I feel like when it comes to faith, as it pertains to our values and justice here on my t-shirt, I think we really struggle with the idea of surplus because we're so used to getting it out the mud. We're so used to hustling. We're so used to working hard and achieving that I think we forget who actually gives us anything. See, Paul was very clear when he was talking to the Corinthians, like, yo, why are y'all bragging as if you got it all by yourself when you actually were a recipient of grace? You receive everything that you got, somebody gave to you. And in that case, he was talking about God giving them. But in our case, it's not really that different. You see, the energy that you have comes from energy being given to you, and then you use it in various ways, and you work out and you eat right and you sleep. But your ability to sleep and still breathe is not something that you manifest on yourself. It's not even something that the universe gives to you. It is really a gift from God. uh, Not to mention, food, money, house, really anything. I mean, we are all recipients of all the things that we have from somebody. And I think I learned this the most when I grew up in Oklahoma, and I was working at a job, and it was when I realized what at will employment meant. I was there for about 2, 3 months. Everything's going good, and I just had like 2, 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were just awful. And all of a sudden, I realized like the manager's paying closer attention to me. Manager's having conversations with me. The manager is monitoring me and watching me and going back and checking my work. And by that Friday, I was let go. And I'm like, man, I've done so much. I was doing so well for these, several months, and I have one bad week, and then that's it. And that was when I realized, like, man, oh, that's right. You gave me this job. I didn't give it to myself. I had to come and interview, right? I did work, but I am not the source, the provider, or the one who controls the destination of life, of jobs, etc. And so as I think about this struggle, this dynamic struggle with surplus, I'm often reminded that, man, surplus, the idea of giving, the idea of living like you have something that you can give to somebody else without worrying about how do you replenish this. That's so hard for us to do because we are often feeling or fearful of going under or going without. So the things that we do have, we don't see them as surplus hardly ever. We only see them, or we only want to see them as, this is me, this is mine, this is for my family or for my really close friends. You got to go get your own. uh, instead of just realize, like, man, when you have faith, you have something you can give away, right? When you have life and you wake up, you have something to give to somebody. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like your kidney, or it doesn't have to be money all the time. It doesn't even have to be um, you name it. It could just be something as simple as you making time for somebody. You taking time out of your schedule and giving it to somebody else, giving them your full attention. It could be something as simple as you saying something to somebody just because you see, man, they're not having a good day. I'm just going to try to be kind to them, encourage them. Maybe they're not in a state of wanting to share, wanting to open up. So let me do the talking. Let me do the praying. Let me see how I can just, offer up an encouraging word. And so just the idea of surplus, man, I think we feel like we have such a small batch or such a small amount of stuff that we don't learn how to love others. And I think because we see ourselves as having such a small amount, we kind of, train ourselves to love ourselves even less. Because everybody feels better when you do something for somebody, related or not related. But imagine, just imagine, what if God was actually saying to you every single day, hey, I'm giving you these new mercies every single day to get you through this 24-hour period. But everything that I'm giving you, part of that, some of that, half of that, 3/4 of that, is so that you can in turn use that and give to somebody else, right? Um, I just wonder, how would that change us? How would that encourage us? How would that help us to love ourselves and love others more? How would that help us to even love God, knowing that He's the one that gives us everything that we have anyway? Um, so I think just as we consider surplus, I just want to remind you, everything you have, you received. And in most cases, man, we are pretty rich. May not always feel like it, but you are financially and experientially and socially rich. And so, what a great grace and a great sign of mercy it actually is to give back. It actually is to take some biblical values and go out and care for somebody, to go and meet needs, to go and let justice roll down. And that's not just coming, that's not just something that Amos said that's supposed to come from the government. Beloved, that is something that God said through Amos that's supposed to come from God's people, you, me, the ones you go to church with. So feel free to jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you as we talk about surplus and just kind of consider all the different ways that we can look at where we have, look at what we have, and just consider ways to do what Jesus did, which is just bless people and give to people.